Dragons are one of the most prominent creatures to emerge out of human collective consciousness. They are an integral part of mythologies, folklores, and legends across different civilizations, cultures, and time. Whether it is the ancient Egyptian serpent demon of darkness Apepi, the benevolent mystical sea snake of Chinese folklore's lung, or the medieval European fire-breathing flying lizards, dragons have captivated us unlike any creature. Let us have a look at 5 such magical creatures across different eras of human civilization. Also, ever wondered what could have been the birth of the dragonfire legend? While these creatures are mythical, do we at least have dragon-like creatures in reality? You would be shocked to know. Stay tuned to figure out. But what does one mean by a dragon? It is not in taxonomic classification of sorts. The word dragon originates from the Greek word drakon, which essentially refers to any gigantic snake. Come to think of it, dragons across mythologies have remained more or less serpentine. In ancient Egypt, we find one of the first descriptions of a dragon. The Egyptian god Apepi was a great serpent of the darkness who tries to devour the sun god Ra each afternoon. Every night represented a vicious battle between Ra and Apepi in the underworld. Each morning, the sunrise would represent a victory of the sun god over Apepi. In ancient Mesopotamian, they talked about the goddess who was the personification of the salt sea and the mother of the gods, Tiamat. She also was associated with the chaos of creation. Tiamat's early account depicts a 4-legged creature with wings and strong claws with 5 fingers each. She was slain by Marduk, the chief god of the city of Babylon. After dividing her body in 2, Marduk used one half to form the heavens, arranging the sun, moon, and constellations. From the other half, he formed Earth, creating the mountains and continents. In later myths, Tiamat was sometimes portrayed as a serpent or dragon, and these images have inspired creatures in modern popular culture, notably in the role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons. But dragons were not always the evil. In some Asian cultures, it is most auspicious creature. The Chinese dragon, Lung, represents Yang, the principle of heaven, activity, and masculine valor in the yin-yang of Chinese cosmology. From ancient times, it was the emblem of the imperial family, and until the founding of the Republic, 1911, the dragon adorned the Chinese flag. The dragon came to Japan with much of the rest of Chinese culture, and there, as Ryu or Tatsu, it became capable of changing its size at will, even to the point of becoming invisible. Both Chinese and Japanese dragons, though regarded as powers of the air, are usually wingless. In the swamplands and river beds of West Africa shrouded by deep vegetation, a mystical, frightening, evil spirit roams at night. Locals name it Ninki Nanka. Akin to Medusa, one simple stare at its eyes brings certain death. Ninki Nanka resemble a mega creature almost 30 feet long with a long head with 3 horns. The body is said to be tough and scaly with a crocodilian archetype. Evil spirits such as the Ninki Nanka were believed to bring about drought or famine. In Norse mythology, Fafnir was a huge dragon with armored scales that couldn't be penetrated by ordinary weapons. He had sharp, curved claws and wings and could breathe fire. According to the story, he began life as a dwarf who could shapeshift. He was tricked by the mischievous god, Loki, into killing his father for a cursed ring. He took his dragon form to guard his treasure from then on, and was eventually slain by Siegfried with a broken sword. Fafnir in many ways is the origin of the modern European dragon from Game of Thrones or Harry Potter series. But what about the fire? After all, dragons are unimaginable without their flaming breaths burning everything to the ground. Perhaps it comes from the flickering tongue of a serpent. Look closely. Do you see a resemblance with flames? Add that to the biblical notion of hellfire to atone for your sins. And you have an evil, fire-breathing reptilian. But can fire-breathing realistically exist? Surely no creature can create and shoot anything as hot as fire? Well, are you absolutely certain? Meet the bombardier, a tiny beetle from Africa that have a remarkable defense mechanism. When confronted, its metabolism goes off the charts and creates an exothermic reaction, rapidly increasing the temperature. It can twist its abdomen in any direction and eject hot fluids, and most famously strong formic acids. Some of these acid sprays have been recorded to be above boiling water in temperature. Could something similar happen in case of large serpent-looking lizards? It is worth mentioning that the term dragon got modified to Draco and represented a class of lizards in the southern Asia. Most famous of them? The Indonesian monitor, Varanus komodoensis. You probably know it as the Komodo dragon. Well, that's it for this video. What are your thoughts? Feel free to comment below. See you next time.